everybody, my name's Melissa and welcome back to Hopeful Happenings. It's Halloween! Check out my shirt, I love it. How cute is that? Today I was tagged by the lovely Kim Chance to do a Hocus Pocus writing tag. I've got a lot of questions to answer, so without further ado, let's get started. Question number 1. Being a witch is hard, but so is writing. If you had magical witchy powers, what aspect of writing or what part of the process would you magically skip over? Oh, I would definitely skip over the part of waiting. Like any sort of submission process, whether it's submitting to a beta reader or an agent or an editor, it's hard to wait. I think it's especially hard because there's not much that you can do with that manuscript while you're waiting. You pretty much have to just let it go and then work on something else. Number 2, Max and Dani. What relationships tend to be at the core of your books? Friends, family, romance. Well, my middle grade is about 2 brothers. So I would definitely say that's got like a core of siblings, but it's like sibling friendship too, and so I think family and friends are the main things. And then in my young adult, again, it's kind of like friends, but then also like the desire to protect your family. I guess I'm not so much into the romance. You won't see me writing like these steamy love scenes. No, I'm probably gonna be like, you know, like Hermione thinking about toothpaste, now that reminds her of Ron. That kind of romance is my style. Number 3, Amuck, Amuck, Amuck. How do you approach the chaos that is drafting? Are you a plotter, a pantser, or a combo of both? I'm a plotter, but I think I can also be kind of both. I just really like to have notes, outlines. The more I have, I think the better I do. But then as I write, I do change things. And then as I edit, obviously, I change things and I come up with new ideas. And it doesn't always stick to the plan. But I would say, yeah, I'm a plotter. Number 4, I put a spell on you. How do you deal with book ideas that want to pull your focus from your main work in progress? Oh, I think everybody's got this issue where once you start coming up with an idea, I think just other ideas just come all the time, because you're thinking in that way. You're thinking of stories, and all of a sudden now everything can be a story. It's really cool and awesome, but yeah, I can see how it distracts me sometimes. The main things that I do to keep on track with my work in progress is that I don't ever work on more than one at a time, or at least I try not to. So if I have an idea, I'll write it down. Everything I can think of, I'll write it down, and I put that note section or whatever into a document where I keep all of my story ideas. That way, when I have time to switch to a new story, I can just go to my story ideas and find the one I want to work on next. Number 5, things aren't always what they seem. Think back to when you first started writing to where you are now. How has your process transformed from then till now? I guess a huge thing that has changed since the beginning of my writing is who I'm interacting with. When I first started writing, I did not have contact with very many writers. So I was pretty much figuring everything out on my own. I was doing a lot of research. I was trying new things, but it was all by myself. And so now I'm so grateful that I have the writing community, because I can not only get recommendations from people about what books to read or whatever, but I can see how other people work out their novels, and that gives me ideas. And I have more people that are willing to read it that have writing experience. And so I just feel like I'm a lot more connected into something that I was missing last time. So that's probably how I've changed. I'm more involved in the community, which helps my writing. Number 6, my lucky rat tail. Do you have a writing ritual? If not, what are some of your favorite writing tools? I don't think I have that much of a writing ritual. I just basically have a desktop, so I always write in the same place, and then I can only really work when my son is asleep. So I write at the same times of the day, but it's like kind of out of necessity. I don't really have a choice. I do need to have some sort of like bubble around me. Like I can't be having too much conversations in another room or the TV on or whatever. I need to like focus. And so I guess one way I focus is I usually put music on or white noise to like block it out. Or if I've got complete silence, I like to have complete silence too. I do tend to eat a lot though. And that could just be because I'm pregnant. I've been pregnant for like 9 months now. But also I think I just eat a lot anyways. Especially eat a lot at night when I'm writing. Cereal is like my go-to. So snacks and same place, same time. Number 7, what is your favorite writing craft book? I used to really love the Elements of Fiction writing series, and I still do, but I haven't read them in a while. I think my favorite was Setting though, and I think that's one that I really want to own. I've heard a lot about this Save the Cat book, which I need to get in on that because so many people have recommended that. But one book that I have used so much, it's like falling apart, I've used it so much, is this one. It's called Building Believable Characters. It's a Writer's Digest source book. It's not exactly like, it's not a cover-to-cover book. What it has is just ways that you can develop your character through personality and physical appearance and then emotions. And I use the emotions section all the time when I'm writing. So for example, like if I'm writing about someone who's scared, it gives me fear and panic. And it says like peer about wildly. It just gives me a list of all the ways that you can describe someone being in fear or panic. Face stricken, blood draining from one's face. Your face pales, your face grows ashen, your face grows chalky. Like it's like a reference book for emotions. And then at the beginning it has physical appearances. So like tons of different ways to describe brown hair or red hair or your eye color or your eye shape, your nose. There's like a whole page on noses. It's so much easier to be able to come up with what you were trying to say. And these are all referenced in other books. That's where they got them from. So they're all being used somewhere in a book. And it's just really cool and really handy to have as I write. Oh, and it also has dialects, and that can be really handy if you're doing anything with dialect or foreign speech. Like it talks about Southern, and it gives you a huge list of words that in a Southern accent would sound different, and they tell you how to spell it and everything. Like get in Southern would be get. I don't know. It's just really handy. So anyways, check out this book. Number 8, Another Glorious Morning. Do you enjoy writing in the morning or do you prefer the evening like Winifred? I am not a morning person. I don't know why. I'm cursed with being a night owl, but I am, so I always write at night. Sometimes I write so late at night that it is the morning, but what can you do? So yeah, I write at night. Number 9, the Black Flame Candle. What's one of the biggest mistakes you've made so far in your writing journey? Or what's the biggest lesson you've learned? One of the lessons I've learned is that beta readers are almost 99.9% right. Almost. Like, there are some times when I think a beta reader is giving you a personal opinion that probably doesn't fit with the others, and so you don't have to change it. But most of the time, if your beta reader tells you, which I've learned the hard way, if they tell you that something's not right, or that it's off, or that they think this sounds this way and you wanted it to be that way, they're probably right. So you At least I've learned that I needed to listen more to my beta readers. It doesn't mean that I need to do what they suggest to fix it necessarily, but if they find that something is off, then it's my job to make it not feel that way again. Okay, number 10, Billy Butcherson. What's a trope that most people hate, but you love and would like to see come back from the dead? I guess one that I think a lot of people might dislike or feel is overused is when someone eavesdrops on a conversation and learns a lot of information. But honestly, I think that's a great way to learn information. And I have no problems with it. I mean, think about Harry Potter. Do you know how many times he snuck out and figured things out just by sneaking out and being under that cloak? People love to read that. I know not everybody, but there's a reason why it's so common. So I think I'd like to see that continue forever, just as long as it's done right. Okay, number 11, last question. Come Little Children, songs that give you a hypnotic focus when writing. I love to listen to music when I'm writing. I think I've mentioned that before many times, and I actually have a playlist on Spotify of tons of songs that I love, so I can link that down below. But anything that really puts me in like a hypnotic trance where I can just focus and go all out, it's usually not the song that matters, but just how often the song is played. So I'll normally pick a song that fits the scene or the feeling of the scene that I'm writing, and then I'll put it on repeat and listen to it over and over and over and over again, because then it kind of turns into white noise, but it still gives me like that feeling. So if it's like an intense scene, I'll put on an intense like fast song so that my like heart is beating as I'm writing, but I'm not quite listening to the song anymore. And then same thing with a romantic scene or a sad scene. I just need to like replay it all over again. Well, that's the end of the Hocus Pocus tag. Thank you so much, Kim, for tagging me. It was super fun. I'll have all of Kim's information linked down below so you can go check out her awesome channel. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, and happy Halloween.